happy holidays. Welcome to today's In the Kitchen with Kevin. We're so excited today. We have our very special guest with us. Our wonderful Mayor Kyle Palmer is joining us. And I know these guys are going to be cooking up something fun and maybe a little elegant for the holidays. You know, you don't have to have a big bash to have a lot of fun. So here we are with Kevin Cobb, our culinary enthusiast, and our special guest, Mayor Kyle Palmer. Welcome, guys.
Hey, guys. Hello. Hey, welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining everybody. I am Kevin. This is Kyle Palmer. For those friends of mine that might watch this later, he's the mayor of Silverton, Oregon, just to give you a heads up. I'm going to start off with something really quickly because people, and he kind of winced too. I came up, don't give Dodie a bad name about this culinary enthusiast. I will not call myself a chef because I didn't earn that the way you're supposed to earn a chef. Some people might call themselves that. I don't think unless you've done the proper, verification or whatever, that is. So I use the culinary enthusiast. Isn't that much better?
I have eaten enough of your food that I'm going to call you chef whether you want me to or not.
Well, I could be your personal chef, right? Okay.
That I like.
Anyway, so again, I welcome you. I'm so glad that Kyle is here. There's a little bit of a story here, and then we're going to get into the cooking. While this is cooking, we're going to ask Kyle some questions. He's going to talk some stuff about this Silverton Strong Silverton, and then we'll just finish it up. This is not going to be a long one. This is super easy. So, we opened the wine bar. I brought my basil baked salmon to the wine bar 8 years ago. And there's a story behind this, which is when I had my place in Portland, this woman that I used to work with, Nancy Taylor, she taught me this, this process of poaching a salmon. But the night before, you spread mayonnaise over it, sit in the refrigerator, that gets scooped off, and then you poach this fish and all kinds of stuff. As most of you know, he knows, Dodie knows, Julie Palmer's on there, so she knows. I'm a space cadet, so I was talking to some people at my restaurant while I'm making this up, and I just made a batch of basil aioli, which is what we're gonna make, or basil mayonnaise, whatever. And I was talking away, and I started slathering the basil aioli on this salmon. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Well, I didn't think I ruined it, but we decided to put it in the, rather than throwing it out, we put it in the oven, and that has stuck since then. And again, it's very simple. So let's get to that. Do you have any questions yet?
No questions at all, but I will say I think I have now eaten about 250 servings of your basil.
Perfect.
Salmon.
Kevin, I have heard of this technique with mayonnaise on your salmon and baking it. Do you do that? Can you do that with other fish, or is it just salmon?
Well, I'm sure you could do it all kinds of fish. In fact, I think at the wine bar not that long ago, a few years ago, I was making halibut made in parchment paper, and we were doing that. So we're going to get this going. The first thing we're going to do is, of course, you want a lovely piece of salmon. This is going to feed two. This is going to be for you. I know.
It's not to me. It's not.
This is a tasting thing.
Okay.
And also the lovely Dodie will get to try this. So right now, I'm just going to quickly douse this with a little salt and a little pepper. And then I'm just going to set that to the side. And then we're going to make the basil aioli. So I'm making a half a cup of this because there's no reason. When I make this, I actually make 2, maybe 3 cups and just keep it in the refrigerator because you can dip crudité in it. You can dip, it's a great dip. You can put it on sandwiches, like turkey sandwiches. It just works all the way around.
Or you could have salmon multiple nights for dinner.
Or you could have salmon multiple nights.
Can you hear that, Julie? We could have salmon multiple nights for dinner.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm making this for a half a cup, so if you need to go above that, you just times it by 2, by 3, by 4. So 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm using this cute little thing, which I've never used before. So 3 cloves of garlic, and then you want to do it in your food processor. Since I'm only doing a half a cup, my food processor is too big. So we're just gonna grind that up like that, right?
Nice.
See, isn't that nice? Yeah. And it smells like garlic. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a half a cup of mayonnaise. Please no Miracle Whip. At the wine bar, I was making this from scratch, which was egg yolks and all that stuff, and it just didn't make sense. So we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna put a half a cup in here, and then I'm going to put a quarter of a cup of fresh basil. Do not use dried, use fresh basil, okay? So that means for every half a cup, use a quarter of a cup of basil. Does that make sense?
Do I need to go back to math in high school?
Yeah. And then we're going to put the juice of a half a lemon. And that's going to go in here.
Now
And this is when, Dodie, this is when I go, do. This means, what is your favorite kitchen utensil? And I explain that, not yours, mine. So this one is my favorite. This is a little juicer. Have you seen these before?
Oh yeah.
They're awesome. We got introduced to them in Mexico.
Oh,
and it's made
cool.
for lemons or limes. It just, I mean, you get every piece of juice out of there. I will say, we also don't throw away food here. So if I have a bunch of these just left, I'll stick them in the freezer, and then I'll zest. If I need some zest on something, I have them in the freezer ready to go.
Nice.
So anyway, that was the juice of half a lemon, half a cup of mayonnaise, and 3 cloves of garlic. And now what we're gonna do is just, and there's no need for salt and pepper because we've already done that to the fish. So now we're just gonna grind that until it's just green deliciousness. Okay, look at that thing came off. It's perfect. It's almost absolutely perfect.
Looks great.
Yeah. So we have more than enough here, but I'm just going to place this. You can't really see it, but we'll try the best I can do. And I'm just gonna place a couple tablespoons on here. Now in the real world, I would put this on here like this. Just spread it all nice and thick and delicious. But in the real world, this would go in the refrigerator for an hour, maybe 2, because then it really absorbs the flavor. But we don't have time. So that's it. Honestly, that's it. Now we're gonna cook it for 12 to 14 minutes.
Hey Kevin.
Yes.
My mom used to let me lick the spoon.
Well, if you wanna lick that.
That's too sharp.
Yeah, I know. So no licking.
All right.
We're in the pandemic, so there's no licking.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay 6 feet away from Kevin and Dodie.
Yes,
so
and we are
that's
6
why I
feet
can't
away.
Pick up the
That's why we're 6 feet away. Okay, so honestly, that is it, and then we'll finish that as soon as it gets out of the oven. Like I said, 12 to 14 minutes. I'm gonna set the timer while we talk to Kyle about some of the stuff that's going on here in Silverton with the holidays and with this Strong Silverton.
Yep.
So we're gonna let him discuss what's going on with that, what's been going on, and some of the stuff that's coming up rather soon.
Right. So Strong Silverton is a group that was born out of some resource calls that we were doing weekly early on in COVID, different organizations, just so we could share information and make sure nobody was falling through the cracks. And then when that sort of stabilized, the group was looking for something new to do. And I think we all know there's been a little bit of acrimony in the world. Everyone's getting frustrated with COVID and et cetera. And so we decided to transition to coming up with events that would reconnect neighborhoods, sort of, you know, in this age of COVID, everyone's relying on social media, which is not the best way to communicate, even though I do a lot during the day. It's no substitute for being with somebody. It's good for me to see you today, by the way. And so we came up with Neighborhood Night Out, which was a thing back in the late summer to get you out in your front yard to have dinner safely distanced away from people, but take a walk in your neighborhood, talk across the street. And it was pretty successful in the community with short notice. We've done a rock hunt for little kids, which was fun. And then, of course, we did a recognition parade for the heroes of the wildfire threat that we had, and did that in a real distanced, safe way, which was fun. And now what we're in the middle of is a lighting contest, a Silverton Light Contest, where we are one of 2 groups trying to get the community to put more lights on their houses and sort of offset the tourism loss from the Oregon Gardens change this year. And we are gearing up for something super exciting, which is going to be on New Year's Day at 6 p.m. We've been, throughout our conversations, really coming back to this theme that, you know, we'd like to get 2020 in the rearview mirror. You know, just, I don't think we're ever going to forget about it, but, you know, have some sort of celebratory transition. It's not this year anymore. Now we're into a year of what I hope will be a lot of hope for us all. And so we are doing a fireworks show. It's going to be at Silverton High School. The fireworks will launch in the middle of the athletic complex outside, and we're doing it there because everyone can socially distance and watch from their vehicles. So I don't know, there's like 500 or more parking spaces there, and we know some people come in and walk out of their vehicles, and we're not going to intend to stop that as long as they're safe about it. But most people will be in vehicles, and it's going to be about a 12-minute show, which doesn't seem like a long time. But for a half hour before that, we're going to do some stuff that sort of features our Strong Silverton group, have some local musical talent, and then we're going to finish that program off with a local talent, Hannah Paysinger, is going to do pre-tape a rendition of Auld Lang Syne for us, and then we're going to go boom right into the fireworks.
Nice, nice. Now, can we see that online?
Yeah, we're going to stream it. We have some concerns that the quality, you know, it won't be a technology barrier. It'll be just a generalized barrier of capturing fireworks properly. It's just not the same as seeing them, but we are going to do that because absolutely we know there's people that can't come or won't come, or, you know, et cetera, and we want everyone to have some access, and they'll be visible from neighborhoods around too, but it's just going to be fun. I asked the team that's putting together the actual fireworks to go light or even eliminate all the ones that are just really big booms. Heck, we're going to be in our cars anyway, so and make it more visual. I also have worked in the animal industry my whole life, and I know those terrify our pet friends and humans with PTSD. There's a lot of people that, for very good reasons, prefer not to be around fireworks. So we're going to try to make it as visual as we can and as less noisy as you would expect. Still going to be noisy, but
well, better than all the things going off in the neighborhood.
Right,
There's
right,
nothing we can do about that,
yeah.
right?
Hopefully there will not be 1 or 2 days leading up to it and then like 14 days afterwards of people blowing off fireworks in their neighborhood. So
exactly,
but it's just our way of saying, you know, 2020's gone. We talked about doing it at New Year's Eve, and everybody sort of in my group, there's about 15 of us, and we unanimously agreed that we have so much detest of 2020, we don't want to do it the honor of having fireworks in its year, so we bumped it a day, and that also frees up people that want to do something special on New Year's Eve, although I don't know what that would be in this environment. And it's also First Friday, you know, what little that means right now in the pandemic, but it's going to be fun, and yeah, it's going to cost some money, and the city of Silverton had budgeted money for the Oregon Garden fireworks and candy that we throw out in the parade, a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't do in 2020. So the council was generously willing to get on board with that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and we're going to have some background music set to the fireworks for people that do watch it streaming, and it's just going to be a good time. Absolutely zero reason other than just to remind people that we can still do stuff in the pandemic. It's just different stuff, but we can't just stay in our houses all the time and forget that we have a connection to each other.
Well, and quite personally, Kyle, I mean, we were talking about this Christmas thing not being, I have a small bubble.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're just going to stretch it over 3 or 4 days rather than just being one day. So what I love about the fireworks being the day after New Year's is I get to, you know, it's a 24 to 48 hour celebration. And as we all know, Dodie and I talk about this all the time, that we've got to do everything to keep our mental health up. And I think that's what you need to do, is just stretch some of these special events over a few days.
100% agree.
Well, and what's really nice is this really makes up for the no fireworks at the 4th of July or the 3rd of July. And I think it's a great way, a real festive, wonderful way to bring in the new year.
Yeah.
Strong Silverton has done a lot of trying to get some good positive vibes going in the community, and I'm proud to help.
Jody's part of that group, so
Yes.
yeah, I should give her some shine for that too. And I think one of the things we're trying to do is lay the groundwork for, we couldn't have fireworks, but maybe we can have them, next year. These things can be done, they just have to have some dials turned, and I am not willing to go through another season without a strawberry festival or a Homer festival or an art festival or a daddy-daughter dance or all those things. We just have to figure out how to make them work because we may be stuck in this situation
And
for a while.
I'm not, again, this is not a political statement, but I'm a true believer that it's all up to us to make sure that happens, and you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and I'm not going to state anything other than that.
We have a couple questions.
Cool.
Good. Awesome.
Go ahead, Julie.
Well, I'm confused because I didn't see Kyle do any cooking.
I don't think my job here was to do any cooking, it's to be Kevin's straight man.
He'll get to taste sample. That's kind of why I wanted him to at least hold it up so we could see. So see him.
All right.
He prepped before we got on camera.
Yeah, I've been around Kevin cooking for like 1,000 years, and I've never been this close to the kitchen because he won't let me. So this is a big day for me.
Exactly. What's nice about this recipe is I've used thyme, I've used basil, but I will tell you, do not use woody herbs, which means the oregano doesn't work, it's gross. The sage doesn't work, it's not very good, neither does rosemary. So keep citrus-like, you want to use citrus-like herbs. So thyme, lemon thyme, basil, what have you. So boom. I mean, it's really super simple.
I would like to pitch an hour-long show that goes right after this called Eating in the Kitchen with Kyle.
There
How about
you
that?
go. And then we're gonna have an hour-long show afterwards called Cleaning the Kitchen with Julie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good, Julie. Good point. Yes. I thought you were going to say me. Heck, no.
Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna give you a little heads up here. I met Julie and Kyle actually at the Silver Grill when I moved down here to help Joel when he bought the Silver Grill. And I really don't know how, it probably was drinks were involved because I don't know how I really got to know these guys, but I tell you, I love this man. Julie is like a sister to me. I hate what's going, I mean, now I'm talking a little bit of negativity, but I hate that I'm not able to, especially during the Christmas time and whatever, to spend time with these people. And I'll repeat myself again. When we did those appetizers last week and a couple of soups or whatever, just because there's only 2 or 3 of you, if you have a kitchen, doesn't mean you can't, indulge in some of these fun foods or whatever. So we're gonna check the,
I remember that night we met and we vacationed together, and I would love to give you a hug today if I could only do that.
I know, right?
We love you too.
Now the other thing that I'm gonna, and this, I don't know if this guy realizes, is I cook my fish medium rare. I do not like these tough pieces of fish. 90% of the time when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you go, oh my God, I'm not gonna order that fish that just went by, that's 90% of the time is, it's overcooked. It's not that it's old fish, but that oil, when it's overcooked, is nasty. So this is almost done. This is done medium rare. We're gonna do, I used to do hazelnuts, but I thought it's the holidays, so I'm gonna top this with chopped pistachios. So I just went and bought roasted and salted pistachios, easy peasy, and I thought that the green might look cute on the pink, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So what else can I tell you? These guys introduced me to a great vacation going to Palm Springs, which was, these two were the kind of the lead of me ended up moving to Palm Springs. So I thank you for that.
Well, I'm glad you came back, but
I am
if you
too.
ever end up down there, we'll have somebody to visit every year when we go there.
Exactly.
And one of those years, I won't come back.
Exactly. Okay, my friends, so here we go. Okay, so Dodie, I think you should start walking down here.
Oh, is it time to test?
Yes, it is.
Well,
So-
I better mask up.
I cooked this for 12 minutes. I want to show everybody what I'm doing here. So guys, there's the salmon. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll put it out there. You guys will know what it looks like. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle these lovely roasted pistachios. And then I'm going to, Kyle will be our first taster. There's a fork there for you.
Oh.
And maybe that'll bring back some memories. I'm gonna try to get close here like we really have a tough time, but that is very pink and probably not what you would consider cooked, but it is totally cooked, right?
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
my God, that's good.
There you go. So this was the long-awaited recipe from the wine bar that everybody whined and cried about getting, and now I decided, there it is.
You're the best. This is amazing.
There you go.
Oh, it smells wonderful.
Come right here
Oh.
and try this, and we're gonna stay away from you.
Oh, it looks beautiful and smells beautiful. Yum. So Kevin, if salmon or fish is already pink, how do you tell if it's medium or not?
Well, I don't really know about cooking fish medium or medium. People don't go to a restaurant and say, I'll have the salmon medium rare. I'm just saying that that should be the way salmon is cooked every time, whether it's basil baked or from the barbecue or whatever. I think people tend to overcook it. Omega-3s are the highest thing that everybody keeps talking about. So you overcook that, your omega-3s,
Really?
gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they won't be completely gone, but
I
yeah,
didn't
you
know
want to
that.
keep the oil in the fish. What do you think?
I love it. I'll get back on the other camera now. Well, I have to tell you, this is so delicious. If you can see it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Easy, elegant, festive,
Totally easy.
the perfect holiday dinner. Is that all for today?
That's it. I mean, I just want to thank Kyle for coming.
I just want to leave everybody with a very merry ho, ho, ho.